We're out here in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Starbird's Custom Car Show, looking for a little inspiration. I'm out here just looking for the random, you know? You never know what you're gonna see. You're in foreign land, you gotta take it all in. I think my favorite thing about this show is just the range of cars. You got some weird stuff, you got your traditional stuff, a lot of high-end stuff too. I gotta say, I got a soft spot for some monster trucks. One of the main reasons I came out to Tulsa was to support Jeremy and his reconstruction of the original Space Junkie. Oh man, they went extra with the pink this time. The pink windows, pink firewall. That's groovy. Dude, this thing is out of control. It looks better than it's ever looked. Yeah. It's just wild. It's nothing that I have the patience to do, so I appreciate it. When you hear the term Resto custom, right? Jeremy is creating sort of a Resto custom of my full custom build. It's still got the same flavor, but man, it's fresh. It's interesting too, because people who know the story, I'm hearing a lot of comments, people thought this thing was dead in the water. It was abandoned at the swap meet, basically, you know, just the body and the nose for years. And
I wanted to give it justice how it was originally.
no, it's an awesome collaboration. I mean, you took it to the next level, 100%. My friend Erie Eric is out here. He's an East Coast native, but somehow he's made it his way all the way out here to Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's got the iron lung bubble top. I've been a fan of that car since he began building it.
Hello, my friend.
Hello, hello. Still looking good.
Thank you, sir.
After thinking about this, dude, I got this project. You got to come to the shop when all this clears up. I got some ideas. There's only one guy for the job. Your crazy style with this and just the general freakiness of it, I couldn't think of any person better to collaborate with, so.
Honey, I'm not coming home this week.
You're on a mission.
Ian said so. Working with Ian, it's like hot rod summer camp. When Ian invited me out, it was like, dude, I don't even want to know what we're building. Just, I'm there. I'm coming.
Oh, look at this purple pink thing. Look at that. Nice car, man.
How you doing?
Good. This thing's rad. Eric and I, we just jive like that. We're walking around, looking at cars. He's just like, yeah, this is kind of cool. Look at this thing. This is really something to look at. And we both agree on the same sort of sensibility. Yeah, and this thing's so weird, but look at that. Look at the extension on those bubbles. I think the biggest thing for me as a custom car builder is to like reflect on the Darryl Starbird collection and all the vehicles he's built and how so many of them over the years have become collectible and they're on display here, restored. And now one of my earlier show cars is here on display, restored. Hey, Darryl. Good to see you, man. I wouldn't miss it, you know? We were here 2 years ago, but I had to come back. Darryl Starbird is one of the legends, one of the originals, the pioneers of the custom car building lifestyle, career. He's accredited with so many things, from the original little hot rodding magazines, TV, film, you name it. Custom car, arama, like that's his whole life. I've always admired your work. Feelings mutual. The coolest thing about Eric is he actually has a real job. He's a disciplined fabricator, you know? And they have one of their cars on display here. It's a contender for the Fine 9 award at the Starbird Show. That's a big deal. That means this car is top-notch, super clean. About 3 years of hard labor, as I understand, and man, it shines. Wow. You always hear about the perfect storm, right? Eric is charged up. He's on the top of his game. I can't think of a better dude to collaborate with. All in all, the good news is we see some things that are inspirational, but nothing that really is in line with what I'm thinking. We're looking for something far out. And it ain't here today, but we got some ideas. Eric and I are back at the shack. I want to get right into it. You can see why I got you out here because, I mean, look at this potential, man. You know, what you see on the floor there, from the seat to The transaxle, the idea is it's pure sculpture. What is it?
This is why I'm here.
100%, you know, just a raw.
So we came all this way to go, yeah, you're on the right track. Continue.
Well, almost.
It's just meat and motor.
The hot rod formula. What we have here are the basic building blocks for a trike. A Volkswagen engine, transaxle, and pretty much wide open space for anything else. You know, like the Ed Roth thing with the seat right up there, the engine behind, and then it's just expression after that. I don't want to build anything that we've seen before. No holds barred, dude.
Oh my God, look at the blank space that we get to work with. It's just this blank canvas that we get to do whatever we want. We got cool elements, and that's it. Anything goes. There's no rules, especially in Ian's shop.
This is a freak sculpture abstract thing. It's like the peanut
right.
butter and chocolate scenario.
Oh God, yes. When they look at it like, what is it?
Exactly.
Hello? That's the stuff, man.
Eric is my brother from another mother. There's no lengthy discussion or debate needed. Eric comes from the same crazy brain place that I do, you know? He gets me. That's why we're collaborating. We're gonna narrow the whole rear end 18 inches. This thing wouldn't even fit through the doorway if you just bolted
So it's gonna be
these.
sketchy too?
That's what I'm
Oh
saying.
my God.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God, perfect.
100%.
Perfect.
So this is all just scrapyard parts. I collected pretty much everything we need for it. This is where the dream began. Look at that. That's our mission.
Oh, that is art. Look
Yeah.
at that.
My friend Marty, he's a great machinist. He took the stock VW axle and he narrowed it. He shortened it 9 inches. So with narrowing this rear end, these tires will be on the valve cover right about here.
I am completely 100% into this. This is gonna exist, man.
That's exactly right. This thing's gonna be far out, man.
The only thing I recommend is one subtle.
Oh, I'm with you. Yes, I'd go even 3 steps further. The transmission mounts in here and the engine hangs off that side.
Okay.
But we want to narrow this. See, that's what I was thinking, a straight shot. We want to take 9 inches out of that. This is the old use the tape around a tube trick to create a straight line.
Bad tooth. All gone.
This is going to be a pretty lightweight machine, but these tires are going to put a lot of leverage on the rear end components. So we're using sleeves inside each of the joins as we narrow it. Make sure that we have a good pass with the welder to keep it strong. Mini axles.
These are ready.
Excellent. It's made for that.
Oh, come on.
Perfect. You've heard of deep dish rims, but these are the deepest of all dishes.
Thank you.
These rims are so wide, you have 18 inches of rim per side. That's 3 feet of rubber hitting the road. Here, take a seat, man.
Perfect. I'm liking it. Feeling good. Feeling good. Feel right.
Oh, look at this. This is good.
Yeah.
I think I'm setting up the game pretty good here. This is the beginning of that monster mobile I've been envisioning. I like it.
I take so many pictures. I'm on somebody else's phone taking pictures.
Yeah, I'm seeing lines coming off of those shock towers. You know, like on a Baja Bug, they'll run the cage back.
Yeah.
Well, what if we ran the chassis forward from above, like up here by the shock towers? But the chassis is different. It's like, it's above your head.
Oh my God, yes.
So like when you get in, you just like hold on and drop in and there's nothing there except
Yep.
foot pegs. It's all
Okay.
over you. It's all up here.
Perfect. Yeah. do the front end off the top of it. It's up over your head.
It's like a backwards frame up in here down to the tires.
Love it. Perfect.
That could work. Every project needs a big jumping off point, you know, that puts it down that weird, windy road to success. One of the things I do all the time with fabrication is the flip it upside down trick, right? So it's like, what if we took the entire concept of a motorcycle and flipped it upside down?
I was hoping that Ian was gonna just bring it and just dive into this weird dimension and just see what comes of it. And when he pitched me that idea, I'm like, dude, I am so in.
One thing I'm sure of is this world needs more big-wheeled freak show circus rides. Nothing to it but to do it. I told you I got the hookup, man. In order for Eric and I to get this project in motion, we took a ride to the big city to get some supplies. These hoops are straight out of Compton, man. A&M metal forming. I love it. 2-inch tube, 1/4-inch wall on edge.
Diamond. Chicks dig diamonds.
So let's split one and see what we got. Just experimenting on my own, I was messing around with my tubing bender and I put square tubing in the round tube die and I was like, whoa, it looks like a diamond. But something this massive, 2-inch square 1/4 wall, I needed some special equipment. The guys down there, South Central, they handled it.
Oh, come on.
Like these join, right? Blink. Up, 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 up. Yeah, dude, right there. Let's hang those from the ceiling.
Yep.
A good mock-up comes in many forms. One of my techniques is the old ratchet strap from the ceiling. A little of that, a little of this. A trick as seasoned as the roof itself. It's been said that I work by the seat of my pants sometimes, and this is called working from your ratchet strap. Look at that, let go of those babies.
Stay.
It's got to come more vertical on these tubes.
Yeah, because this,
Get it out your skull.
bang, bang, head wound.
Not that it would bother you, but some people.
Well, no brains, no headache, man.
There it is, that's our height. This was what was in my head, you know? We could do anything from here, but I wanted that arch over the rider, you know?
Yeah, no, it's,
I was initially thinking 4 tubes, not 2. Almost like a pyramid, right? Like 4 sides, but then they twist and come forward.
what if we did 3? Because I think 4 might be too many. Or we'll do a hoop over this and come down right through the center.
I agree.
Bring the 3rd one up from the center.
Yes.
And just tie it right in.
That's
Because
the
I mean,
key.
minimalistic is possible. So you'll have your 3 points, your diamond, right down.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I like it. That's the thing about a good collaboration. You know, when you're grooving, you're in sync, you double the horsepower of your creative mentality. This brace is maxed out,
Yeah,
the
I
roof's
know.
starting to sag. Oh, that's terrible. It's got to come way down. We got to relax that curve.
Yeah, I think we need more.
So it's as if everything was swinging up and in. Before this contraption brings the roof down, I asked Eric to dig around, find some material to make a stand to really support this unit.
That might help that situation.
We're cutting the tube for the backbone on this because the same radius coming from a same point will have a different arc reaching different locations. The end result we're looking for is like you got your tight curl, and as it spirals out, it'll be a wider contour, more of an ellipse. I think if we put an 1/8-inch shim in each one, it might give us the radius we need,
That was gonna be my question next.
Hold this. Aha! So that's gonna go there. Stand back and look at that radius. That looks like it belongs.
Oh yeah.
Just that little bit.
Let me see your arms. Other way. Oh God. Yeah, this one. What do you think of that? Lightning bolt. Bang, 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 bang. Lightning bolt. It's your toy.
Ooh.
Lightning.
Oh yeah, no, just like we're cutting these, we slash cut the pipe and it rises out, down,
Yep.
and back.
Bang, bang, bang. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling that. Pretty much everything I've envisioned is on the bike thing right now, so might be time to bring out that sketch pad and really explore some ideas without having to bend a lot of heavy metal. That's our flow, like boom, right from the axle and torsion housing and down. Would it be a smile or would it be an expression of terror? There you go.
The lightning bolt tattoos for Ian are kind of like when he's working on things, it's just lightning, it's electricity going from his brain down his arms, into his hands, and into his hands is the electricity and the creative spark to like create these things that not a lot of people can. you know, if we can incorporate that into his trike, why wouldn't we?
Here, you hold that for a second.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take a look. Ooh. Looks like a football mascot or something. Did we just build that hedgehog, you know?
Yeah.
Look at this. It's gotta go down the back.
Yeah, it's got to go down in the back a lot.
Three-dimensional reality is pretty much everything to me. On paper, it's like, oh, heck yeah. You put that thing up on the bike at our first try, and we're like, ooh, maybe not.
What if we took this and brought it forward?
Oh, make this shorter.
Yeah. I'm not feeling this going out here because I think it takes away from this.
I see what you're saying, so that this looks like it's landing on this surface.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to close these again, make this radius even tighter.
Okay.
Maybe we put that up here. Yeah. And then it goes down right into, like, this is the fork.
This is the fork? Yeah.
See, that's a monster movie. That thing is coming for you.
There,
And then
thank
the
you.
forks go whoop.
Oh, I like that. We kind of moved the bolt around a couple times on the trike because in the back it just wasn't fitting. As soon as that got put up there, this thing said straight out without saying a word, "Finish me now." And cool.
The mock-up process prevails. You know, we started off a little over here, a little over there, found a place where it was agreeable, and man, standing back on it, I gotta say, that's savory. There it is. Yes. It's totally stupid. It's awesome.
Once we got the bolt welded into place, then the floodgates kind of opened for creativity and for like what we were going to do next with it.
Right now, you got your droop coming off of that tube. That's getting cut. The
Yeah.
line is gonna flow right down wherever those front tires land. It's like it comes out of the forks, whoosh, into the engine. You know, flying by the seat of your pants, sometimes it works out. And that's exactly where we're at. But there's still a few unsolved issues with how this front end's actually gonna come together.
Knock, knock.
Hey,
Morning.
hey. I could not sleep, dude. I had to get this built. I had an idea.
Groovy. That's how they happen.
My buddy Marty, the machinist that did the axles, he also took these VW Bug spindles, put them in his lathe and drilled it for a straight Harley axle. So the motorcycle rims bolt to the Volkswagen Bug spindles.
Okay.
And it'll steer like a go-kart, super basic.
Oh, that's badass.
So instead of motorcycle forks,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because
No, these are the chassis.
Yeah. I think that's way better of an idea, man. Honestly, because just safer, better, gooder.
Yeah, you know, I want the tires to be in a V like that in the front. It just looks weird. I've seen a couple things from the 70s that use that style. I was like close together at the bottom and, you know, wider at the top. I have no idea if this concept's gonna work. When you put something on the road that's got two tires assembled in this fashion, it could all go wrong. Is it gonna steer? Is it gonna wobble? Is it gonna track weird? So that's kind of where I'm at. I think we should build that chassis straight down. So what if this went from 2-inch and then shrunk down a little to 1.5? A single tube maybe? What do you think? Is that too light?
If we can get away with just one, it makes it more of how is that thing holding together? How is it staying together? You're on the inchworm going down the big grass hill,
Exactly.
being pelted with dandelions.
Exactly. See, you have the same kind of a colorful visionary method that I do. Let's lay out our idea, and we'll get the weight off the stands and just see what this one tube does. The big challenge for me is, can we bend this tube? Because I don't think a straight shot is gonna be as convincing as I like.
I'm 100% on board with this operation.
I haven't done any testing, but I just feel like bending it on the diamond shape is a stronger assembly in the end. And it's got that fantasy outlaw vibe. That's perfect, see? That's what we're looking for. Good. That's curving.
Oh, he makes this look way easier. What did I sign up for?
That's a curved noodle. You look great. That's it, dude.
Thanks.
Here, I'll hold it. Check it out.
Oh, come on. Forget it, man.
Right?
It shouldn't be able to function, but it's so right there.
Well, don't get ahead of yourself. It might not function.
Well, it may not function at all, but it looks really cool, so.
You know what this project needs? It's got a fever. We need more First thing that needs to be set up is this front spindle action. That's where all the business happens. So I want to get that established, build the forks back to the chassis we have already. You know, the old front to back trick. We want these things to be V'd, right? And together pretty close at the bottom, like a, you know, row crop tractor style thing, right? Right now, these spindles are parallel on my little stand, so they'll be standing like a car, right? But see, these are inclined. These are a reverse V. If we put these parallel, then all of a sudden, spindles are doing that.
Personally, I absolutely love that front end setup. It's just so trippy, and it takes a lot for me to be impressed. That impressed me.
That's the only one I have, so we're gonna have to make it work.
You know what? I'm going to the beach.
We're not gonna have suspension in the front, but I'm allowing for a little wiggle. Just allows a little bit of flex in all this steering knuckle. This will be compressed almost 100%. So it's like VW, Harley, go-kart. 3 great tastes that taste great together. My brain is on fire. I'm like, it's gotta work, it's gotta work. And then some kind of truss, because I love the idea of this looking like it's dropped. Getting these front wheels in place and having that attachment point representing the line of this thing, that's when it all comes together. What the heck is wrong with those guys? You know, we're coming from the back, we're building forward. It's gonna be a little doing to get that front attached, but this is the critical thing, our spine. We want it to flow through. Back it again. Thing is home. I'm gonna blast a nice weld on that.
Don't try this at home, kids. Actually, do try this at home. That's the whole point of this place.
That is so silly. I was worried that it was gonna want to go up on one tire or something, but nope.
It's sitting stationary. I like the angle that you put in too.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, dude, sitting in here, it's nuts. That's all I can say, it's nuts. All of the things that are hot rod, this checks all boxes, and sketchy is one of them.
I think tomorrow, let's get this rack made for the seat and the foot pegs and put some handlebars on it.
Yeah, I'm good with that, absolutely.
We're definitely on the right path. Eric and I have a few things to nail down before he hits the trail and heads home. I was working on this seat mount tube. This is the last of those rolls, so we're gonna use all of it. This will attach to the torsion housing, hanging down. And then, depending on our angle, if we wanna be sitting upright, we can leave it like this, or we can kind of play with it, right? We could be reclined. I mean, that's like super reclined, right? Figure out where we wanna sit, and then make the braces across to mount the seat. I feel like we're really on a good path here, but there's a lot of in-betweens that haven't been figured out yet. So I tell Eric, got any wild ideas? Time to throw it out now.
Headlight bucket. I was
Looks
eating
like a
crackers.
goldfish.
Yeah, I was eating crackers at the time, okay? Don't judge me, all right? I can sheet metal around it. We can inset this, sheet metal around it, and just kind of get it down
so the
here.
rider is like in a little pod, like a carnival ride
that
or
way the
something.
headlight's not above or anything. It's
Foot
not
pegs,
forks or
headlight.
nothing. It's just there.
Eric is preaching to the choir here. You know how I love the circus freak show. Yeah, because if you had, sometimes you see like a tall bike with the headlight on top and it looks like a cyclops, all weird.
I'm still in the notion that lower is better. Just low, 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 you know?
I'm open to whatever, dude. Make it happen.
Groovy.
Eric and I took a look at the seat and we debated the good, the bad, and the ugly before we fit it in place.
I like this. It's like you're in the mouth of a monster.
Yeah, I'll do the structure action on this, and I'm excited to see what you're doing with that goldfish.
Yeah, same here.
Eric works in the same vein as I do. You know, you just get some pieces, you start thinking about it, and just develop it, you know, pretty organic. Yeah, so the bars are here, right? And you're riding it like that.
Yep, we'll keep this nice and low, because up here, it'll start to take away from all that.
Mark my feet right here. That'll be my foot peg mounts.
With the headlight, like, it's half finished. Ian's got to finish that off. And then also, there needs to be another element on the car, sort of like that, to tie the two pieces together.
All right, as per Eric's feet marks, I'm just gonna put this on here. I got 5 words for that.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of ideas on the table, but that loose end in the front of the chassis is kind of bugging the heck out of me.
It's the last of like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know, so what are you thinking?
But I think we both agree the handlebars will perch from that area, right? And I don't know how this is gonna steer yet, you know? And I think the shape of the handlebar is gonna determine that.
What if we did the same thing with the foot pegs, kind of down
Down and out.
and out?
Let's just build the bars and tack them onto here. That way at least we can hold on to something.
Okay.
I gotta say, there's something about these handlebars. It's looking half chopper, half Flash Gordon. That feels good to me right there. Right in line.
Oh, just the straight on, that comes down and you got the hoops coming up. So you got this curvedness and then this right in the middle, man.
Yeah. All right, so let's make the bars this big. The silhouette's there, the feeling is in place. That's always number 1 on the list of priorities. So that's how I'm feeling. How's that look?
Yep. Come forward just a hair. Is that okay?
Works for me.
All right. No pain, no gain, buddy.
That works. It's kooky, but it works. The pod doesn't look like it's that far out either.
No.
I was having trouble because it looked like just too heavy, but those bars make it all, you're like in a little capsule. You're in the cockpit.
Yep.
I'm super stoked. So, I mean, we got a solid mock-up, man. There's a million things that need to be figured out, but this is the concept. It looks good.
Oh my God, look at that. What? What? Right about there, you start to get nervous.
A classy gent like Eric doesn't travel in any old way. He gets chauffeured by custom car royalty.
Oh man, baby, your ride is here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lil Daddy himself, purveyor of the outlandish, maker of fine custom paints, and just the man we need for this part of the project.
I love this. Whoa, man.
This is needing the Roth seal of approval. Dennis's dad, Ed Roth, right? He's been the inspiration for Eric and I mean, our entire lives. Like, why the heck would you build these weird bubble top cars? Ed told us to do it.
Those wheels you have are insane. I love the whole look of this deal.
You know, he's so into this type of thing his entire life. Like, he was the kid in the shop building the cars with his dad, so to see him light up like he's a 10-year-old kid, you know you're onto something. Your dad's formula, VW engine,
Yeah.
narrowed swing axle trans, and then all the freak show ahead of that.
Big Daddy was always a big Volkswagen fan. When he had the patent on the Volkswagen Trikes, I told Dad, why don't you go after guys that are going against our patent and stuff? And he goes, oh, I'm gonna wait till General Motors builds them. And I go, yeah, GM is not gonna make Volkswagen Trikes, Dad.
But we are.
Yeah, exactly.
But we are.
Keep it alive.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Everything I've done since day one was the Roth inspiration, so
Yeah,
this is another one.
Yeah. Wow. This is a showstopper right here, baby. Waka! Wapa! Wah! Hey, what color are you gonna paint it, dude?
That's what you're here for, man. What do you got?
Oh, dude, what do I got?
He had color chips in his pocket, on hand, ready to go. His chip cards are like a Swiss Army knife to him.
Dennis has a whole line of spray can paint that's called spray bombs or rattle bombs. There's actual metal flake in spray cans.
It can be any color of the rainbow you want it, baby. I got it all right here. How about if I just go back to the factory and mix you something up, something really bitchin'?
Cool.
Perfect.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it'll be Ian's full custom color. Huh?
That works.
I'm gonna name it.
When Dennis said that he would mix up a custom blend for this vehicle, I was like, heck yeah, dude. Like, I'll put it in primer. You send the cans, it'll be a surprise.
Ian, it's been a dream, dude. See
yeah,
ya.
good seeing you
Keep it
again,
easy.
man.
Eric really brought it, and that's why I needed his help. It's just time to refine it and get this thing done.
Back to Nashville, baby.
Eric's visit was a whirlwind of activity. You could see we got down to business. I didn't expect it to look like this at all, and I gotta say, I am stoked. One thing I'm thinking is I wanna carry that momentum, the craziness, It needs some action behind the tires to complement what's happening ahead of the rider. This thing is bare bones. You know, it's a rail at heart, and so much of the things I love about vehicles is the look of the exhaust, and it just looks like a stock Volkswagen engine. We gotta spice it up somehow. I ordered all of these exhaust parts from Speedway. They have these mandrel bend kits. You can splice it anywhere. You got straight, you got 180, and you got 90 bend all in one part number. And then, of course, what cartoon creation would not be complete without the 24-inch megaphone? Should make plenty of noise. I went rummaging through my parts stash and I found some flanges from an old VW exhaust system, and that's where this story starts. I hate the backpack effect you get when you do this style VW, so I'm trying to tuck all the business as close to the tires as possible. I always loved the real old sand buggy style that came over the top of the center of the engine. So that's kind of like a aesthetic, proportional thing for me. All right, so this is where it starts to get complicated or interesting. We got 4 pipes. We want 8 outlets. Where do we split? What are we trying to achieve here? That's right, I said 8 outlets. Maybe asking yourself, why 8? I don't know. So the next 2, you want absolute nonsense? You've come to the right spot. Perhaps you're starting to figure out that I don't have things figured out before I start building. If not, stay tuned. I'm sure you'll be convinced shortly. Something about this bike is telling me minimal. I thought I was gonna go elaborate, like a bouquet, but even 4 right now is too much. Right, that's pretty deluxe. It's the age-old quandary, you know, how many exhaust megaphones does the VW engine actually need? It's something that many great philosophers have considered, and now we find ourselves in the same situation. Quite frankly, Mr. Shankly, this is all it needs. Believe it or not, I do have a voice of reason in my head. It's just typically drowned out by all the other voices. There's 3 backbones on the Trike. There's 3 sides to every story. I always say it, you know it when you see it. Just setting these 3 in place, I mean, that's the look. I'll make a collector 4 into 3. We got the tubes mocked up from the cylinder heads. We got the exhaust tips in place. The next thing is to just create a collector, something that brings it all together so the exhaust flows. Not too much, not too little. Somewhere in the middle. Once I got the exhaust in place, I was seeing a few things right away that needed to happen. Love the design Eric and I came up with, but I felt like it would look a little bit better tying in more with the engine on this rear backbone, the 3rd part. So I just dropped this back in a little bit more of a graceful arch. Ultimately, it'll be supported, triangulated. If you look at the old design, these arches, they're kind of falling ahead of the tire when the rear one came around. But now it's as if that rear one goes right into the axle line, which I feel is better. So I accomplished 2 things. I think it looks a little more graceful, and this cool spun aluminum tank can go right in there. Got this darling little unit from Speedway. So the main thing was, fits our space perfectly. So this thing looks like it should be flying down the salt flats into outer space. I feel like the gas tank didn't need a lot of flair, you know? For this, the chassis is the big element, so maybe we just getting something shiny just behind the seating position. It works. All right, with that buttoned up in the fuel tank, there's just one more crossbar for the seat to go on. It goes without saying, we don't want that seat coming off, so. I got an idea for the front of this. There's 2 things that are bugging me. One is this, and then this. Needs some improvement as well. This is all part of my standard procedure, you know, you put it together, thin it out, build, rinse, repeat until something emerges from the ashes. You're heading down the road, I mean, there could be piglets, chickens, crows. You never know, but it's all coming for you. Come on, world, give me some. Send that sand off the tires right into my face. Farm animals aside, the big issue I'm seeing is with the front fork. So the way that that front of that switchback, you know, it dives gracefully down to the tires, and these two, they just kind of end. I feel like this should come forward as well. I've been messing around with the design for the second fork, the addition, and I think it's in the ballpark. I like that. I think towards the top, it just needs a little bit of a curve. I think I'm gonna curve that tube backwards a little bit. Move ahead. Ooh. That does two things. It makes it weird, and it makes it strong. Two of a kind. Yeah, now the chassis, the arches are all kind of doing their same thing. Showtime, right? My head's spinning. It's still got to steer. Everything behind the rider looks okay, but yeah, you're gonna need something. So how do we link it from there to there in a tasteful way? Time has come to face the Pied Piper. If this thing doesn't steer, it's a no-go. It's time to make it happen. So these are VW Spindles. Problem I was gonna have, these tires are independent, right? What are they doing? They're all over the place. So I made a tiny little tie rod. You go right in here, just like on your car. So you want to turn right? Both tires turn right. You want to turn left? Both tires turn left. From way over there, how do you get those tires to do what you want, right? Just as an experiment, I had these two cables, and you know, they're controlled cables, right? They're about 90 inches long, and it will push-pull through any type of shape, a pretzel shape, anything. This will follow the graceful curve of that chassis. So if my theory is correct, the handlebars will be very much like a motorcycle in that they will turn like this, pushing and pulling these cables independently. This is all part of the grand experiment. So that's gonna pass through there. I set up this little landing point here, just temporary, see if it's gonna work out. And you can see how undersized this hardware is. But this is what I'm working with right now. If the theory works, order two cables that are rated for this type of activity. Just for mock-up, one of my favorite tools in the arsenal, the old zip tie. Now I can put two tabs up here to secure this. It appears to work. Hey, I'm just as surprised as anyone, but as a wise man once said, we ain't out of the woods yet. I curved these tubes, just like the rest of the tubes on the bike, a little more arch in it. This design is all just from a long experience in parts gathering, you know, using what you got. Hey, I had this cool fitting from a piece of a 4-link suspension, fits the bill. I keep going back to this kind of chopper flavor, right? Just stripped down. I just got a thing for that wheelie popping bikers from outer space vibe, you know? Space pirates. It's a novel I'm currently working on, and this will be one of the main characters' rides, yes. Wheelie popping bikers from outer space. It's where the cable snaps. Or maybe it doesn't. Oh, Magoo, you've done it again. I don't mean to seem alarmed, but it's getting really close to a test drive. This is what I was looking for, you know? It's not what I expected in the beginning, but man, I am satisfied. It's exactly where we need to be. Steering theory is proven. I got a couple little things to wrap up, and you know, the great unknown is what's it gonna do out on the road? Paint it, drive it. All right, got this thing out to the UFO testing grounds. It is wired up, it is fired up. It's time to give it the shakedown run. All I could say is, let's roll the dice. This is one heck of a journey, you know, it's just an idea, some kind of fantasy concept, more art than transportation, and to see it 3D right in front of me, I'm stoked. It's got a brake, it's a master cylinder under the seat here, the clutch, your typical Volkswagen cable clutch. Shifter comes out of the side, kind of like an old jockey shift. Had no room for a speedometer, so I installed these tassels. Lets you know exactly how fast you're going. It looks fast sitting still. Look at that thing, it's already in motion. With this machine, I will be the envy of any playground in the world. My favorite thing about it is the stance. You got your cartoon mega wide tires in the back. You got some weird thing going on with the front tires. Totally 70s, right? And then the fact that there's no motorcycle frame between your legs. It's like over there. Yes. Little Daddy Roth did not disappoint. He said he was going to the lab. He's gonna mix up a full custom color. This thing's got some effects. Brought in my wife, Jamie, to paint this thing.
I'm thinking flake, and then some more flake, and then just flake.
You've got the 3 food groups covered. Great minds think alike. The Roth Flake, I've never seen rattle can effect with that much pop. Blue Demon, that's its name. Like some of the great luchadors from the past. This is something a super villain would drive. What more do you need? It looks impossible. I think mission accomplished there. But is it possible? It's time to drive it. It's alive! It's alive! This could be my last proverbial ride. So here we go. Fires right up. Get that thing into gear, let out the clutch, and Eric and I chose to make the rider position super cramped up, like a thoroughbred jockey, right? This guy is tucked in there. He's going someplace, and he's just fully compact. This is why I fell in love with hot rods, with choppers, that type of thing. It's just like, whoa, you're out there. You got this rowdy machine, and you're hurtling through space. It's freedom, baby. It's wide open. My big concern from the start was that cable steering. Those cables I just had laying here, they steer fine. Takes huge, wide U-turns, but it works. I could see going through the drive-thru, grab a burger. I don't know where you put it. There's no cup holder, that type of thing, but really be an attention getter. This whole project, I'm in my element, right? Another great artist helping out. Having Eric's input, it would have never looked like this if I just built it on my own, and that's the big surprise to me. How freaking cool the lines of this thing came out as the end result. I want to capture that lightning in a bottle. I just saw this, right? It had to happen. And if I didn't do it, then who was gonna? I'm very pleased with this. I could check it off the list. Now, on to the next. Bring on the nonsense.